So it's melting out there again. We have yet another we've had yet another major snowfall. I think it was about 6 inches or 15 centimeters for you Canadians. And so I'm in the loft here listening to the snow melt and spending the afternoon snacking and watching TV and petting my dog. And I am wanting to just quickly make a little video to talk about this balancing tool because I think I have a little bit of a sensory strategy that I want to share with you. But I just wanted to say before I do that with Kyrie's help that I'm really focusing on balancing as its own thing because I don't agree that calming down is always the best thing. Sometimes I think when we are teaching ourselves and others to calm down, and breathe and whatever, we are missing the point of the feelings that are rising inside of us. I need to honor the strength and intensity and messaging of my feelings. And that is partly why I am writing the way I am. I'm trying to pay attention and I'm trying to put words and names on what is coming up inside me as if it is wise and on my side. I am not wanting to quickly label negative feelings as negative. And this is opening up so much in the way of possibilities to go forward with more awareness and more presence in my relationships. And so I just want to say that balancing to me is becoming not a nice to have. It's not something that will, make your smile brighter or make your morning less frictionful. It is more, I have to do a lot of hard things. And when I do a hard thing, I want to do it from a place of balance as much as possible. And that is, not something that I can just achieve. It's something to work on. It's kind of like health. You can always get more healthy, but you definitely can be healthy enough to do certain things. So that's where I'm coming from, is balance in terms of listening to my strong feelings as they arise and not assuming that they are the problem, not assuming that they need to be dampened down or even dispersed, because a lot of, I think, calming techniques do have that effect of dispersing a strong feeling and maybe grounding it down out of us or trying to move it away from consciousness. And that right now for me is not helpful. So I'm trying to deal with a whole bunch of stuff in my past and stuff in my present that is difficult, that is chaotic, that is destructive. And some of it is very delusional. It's very much not real. And so my feelings, and particularly the strong ones that I've named, fear, anger, and shame, are becoming beautiful indicators that I'm out of balance. And if I'm out of balance, I know I'm falling down. And again, like a good vestibular system that lets you know that you're a little bit off of, parallel to the flow of gravity, it's really helpful to have the ability to sense that I am getting angry, and that means something. And it means something in this direction. And it gives me the idea that I might need to do one of these 3 or 4 things to right myself, to protect myself, to make sure that my relationships are going forward from a place of stability. And similarly, with my fear rising, it is so important to not squash that down and calm it down and not listen to it with some intelligence and wisdom. And so I'm not saying that we should always run whenever we are afraid, but I am coming around to the idea that I need very much to listen to my fear and use its cue, use the strength of its rising up in my soul to cue me that I need to stop. I need to pause. I need to do a little bit of assessing of the environment and of what's inside me. I need to look backwards to the past. I need to look forwards to the future. And I need to look all the way around me. And I can't do that if I'm still in a drive mode and going forward stubbornly. And so fear is very much becoming that cue that something is off, something could be threatening my safety. And so just stop or slow down and figure it out. And then do the thing that will keep me safe. And sometimes that's a little thing, but it takes such a big jolt of fear to stop me because my drive energy is so unbalanced. And as I become more balanced and more responsive and more able to listen to the fear and prove to my whole team that I'm willing to stop and assess for threats when I hear that message system, the messaging can become more subtle. It can become more quiet. It can be more of an inside voice. And and the same goes for shame, which is, my least favorite feeling. But I am becoming so grateful for it, because what shame, when it rises up in me, is suggesting now in my paradigm here that I'm building, is that I need to look in the mirror. There's feedback that I need. And I am doing something which is possibly not in alignment with my core values. It might be being perceived as being different from my core values, and that might be from other people. So shame is a reflection, or it's on my reflection. It's the the dirt on the mirrored surface that suggests that I need to do some work as regards my presentation to the world. And that, is so, it's so lovely to have permission to do that, to look in the mirror and not think, oh, I'm being selfish or vain or self-absorbed. All of the messages that I picked up about, looking in a mirror. It's okay to look in a mirror and use what I see, and other people are mirrors, my animals are mirrors, and use what I see to course correct, to maybe apologize, to think about doing things completely differently, or possibly sometimes, like, that shame is just it's a question. Do you really want to do this? And I, in thinking about it, I'm like, I really do. I actually do. But now I'm going forward with knowledge. I'm actually more aware of myself, and I'm also more conscious that I am in the world. I am visible to other people. I matter, and my choices will have effects around me. There's no way around that. And that's that's the scary piece of information for me, because I'd rather be only intermittently visible, and whenever it suits me, I'd like to just fade into the background. And that's a cheat. We can't do that. We're alive, we matter, we have worth, and with that comes, a great deal of responsibility. So that's my reason for really focusing on the word balance, as opposed to peace or calmness or any of the other kind of self-help sort of focuses that I think are out there and which are useful. sometimes it is just really good to bring your fear down so that you can think again and function. But where I'm coming from, having done too much calming down, too much dampening, too much flying away from those big feelings, I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to hear what they're saying, and I'm trying to use their messages to help me stand up straighter, be more present, be more aware of my own effects in the world, and do things which are actually intentional and have integrity, and which I am willing to use as a constant learning process. And so here's my little strategy, which I'm going to ask Kyrie here to support me in. And you can use any willing animal. My tool right now for this sensory strategy is my hand. And I have been thinking about how it's nice to have a way to cue myself to remember that I have worth and that I am allowed to express myself, but also that threats exist, and that I need boundaries, and I need to stay within the location and the size and the strength that my body can handle. And I think, if I continue to try to balance my heart and my mind and my body in this way, and really think about my soul being in the middle as the leader, then I have a shot at going through a hard thing that I might have to go through with more of my inner team intact and feeling like we are all on the same side. So yes, Kyrie, she's like, keep petting me. So I'm going to use my hand as the little sensory strategy and see what you think, and see whether it is something that you can do. It's nice because we always have our hands with us, and this is a way to remind myself going into something that might be hard or unbalancing. It could be an interaction. It could be an experience which scares me. It could be something where I know I'm going to get angry, or it could be something that I have tended to avoid because of the coating of shame that I have previously just assumed was not cleanable. And now I think it's cleanable, and I can do some things that I didn't let myself do before. But I'm going to try and use this as a little hack to remind myself. And so here's my hand. And I think if you use, like, you could just use your own thigh or a pillow. I have this nice dog here, but I'm just going to make a tripod of my hand by making a fist and then bringing out my index finger and thumb and baby finger. So the hang 10 symbol, and inside curled up are my middle finger and my ring finger. And I'm making my middle finger be like my soul in the center of this tripod. So there's my tripod, and oh yeah, you're so soft. And it's balanced, and my soul's in the middle. And if I want, I can even describe a strong circle with my index finger. My index finger is going to be like my body. So I'm just drawing a circle, and the circumference of the circle is about the same size as if my whole hand was to be spread out. And this is just a very tactile way of suggesting to myself, here I am. Here I am, and I exist here. This circle is the area that I can control, that I inhabit. And I mean, you could do this with your whole body. You could just draw a circle with your toe and the sand. But I'm thinking about being in a meeting or something where you just want to be doing this without anybody knowing you're doing it. So I have this circle going on, and it's limiting where I can actually touch or affect. My fingers reach this far and no farther. And that's, right there, a little bit of balance. Like, I'm this big, but I'm no bigger. And so the circle of reality. And then if I do that hang 10 thing and have this tripod going on, and this is my body, and this is my mind, which, is very mobile, but still part of me. And then my baby finger is my heart. And the reason I made my baby finger my heart is because it looks so small and weak and vulnerable. But if you want to grasp anything, and my soul is tucked up here in my palm, and my ring finger, I want to think about it as being my past. My ring finger is like all the stuff I'm carrying, all my trauma, all my learning, all my memories, all my experiences, all my past relationships. Yeah, they're tucked in right beside my soul. They're the work of my soul. My soul is working on that stuff. And sometimes my heart is able to balance in a strong circle like this, like a tripod. But sometimes, I might be going into an emotional situation, and I might tuck my little baby finger in like that. And my tripod becomes more the heel of my hand and these two fingers balancing in that strong circle. And in that case, my heart is trying to help my soul hold my past. And so this is how I think. And maybe you think this is silly. It's like the little children's finger games. But I'm just throwing it out there because some of you are tactile, kinesthetic people like me, and don't maybe resonate as much with my big drawings and my many words. So I'm going to keep playing with this hand as a balancing stand-in tool, and I will send you videos about it as they occur to me, and just let me know if it's any help at all. And for sure, if you have a willing dog, they wouldn't mind at all, probably, or a horse, if you really describe to yourself that circle. This is where I am, and this is me with a strong tripod, with my soul balancing in the middle, and here I am. And it's just a nice way to just ground myself and remember my body. My body is over here, my mind is over here, my heart is over here. Sometimes my heart tucks in and just protects what needs protecting. And sometimes she's able to come on out and just hold space. So anyway, I hope that makes some sense, and that you can, if you're that kind of person, enjoy reminding yourself of your own stability and strong circle that way.